Hi everyone, I'm Daniel Kasnick, and today I'm going to be talking about sustainability in camps and really talking about the demand that currently exists with sustainability and how do we move towards a solution. So this is documents come out by UNESCO. They surveyed tens of thousands of youth around the world from so many different contexts and asking them what's going on with sustainability. How are you learning about it? How do you want to learn about it? What's working, what's not working? What are your demands? And so the reports come out, the data's in, and here we are. These are the demands of the youth, and I thought number 5 really jumped out to me, and it's because we're still doing the same old. So if you look at the numbers there, the figures, majority of students, majority of youth are still learning about sustainability through posters, graphs, and paintings. So 64% of their learning is coming through these kind of old, kind of tokenistic ways of engaging with sustainability that we know really isn't the answer. But when they asked, how do you want to learn? The overwhelming majority was actually saying, well, we want to learn in more exciting ways, more hands-on ways. And if you look here, I mean, field trips, I would say, is probably the closest to camp as well. Like that's 9%. Maybe collaboration with local community. I know there's camps out there doing that. That's 12%. Outside of classroom learning, that's 23%. So a very small portion of the learning is actually happening in the context that camp gets to offer. And I think it's our time as the camp industry to say, we know what we're doing. We're the experts in this. We can change these figures. We can get more youth out of the classroom into real life situations, getting them connected first and foremost with the environment, but also with what sustainability actually can look like. I think camp, the uniqueness of camp is that out of context, out of routine life, and giving them a glimpse of what the world could look like. So here I am to talk about camper agency. And so when we talk about agency, we're talking about giving voice, choice, and ownership. And this is something I always bring this example up. Lego used to advertise itself as this creative, make something new, let your mind run wild, sky's the limit sort of activity. And what we see nowadays with Lego, and this is just an example, nothing against Lego, but it says a lot about society, is that we have these instruction booklets that if you follow, steps 1, 2, 3 through 20, whatever, you're going to get this model that looks exactly the same as every kid around the world. And this is kind of our safe place, right? This is saying we want it to look nice, we want it to look finished well, and we want it to have this kind of polished finish to it. And I really think that comes out of a fear we have as a society to let youth really take charge. We do a lot of this. We listen to the youth, but it's not truly allowing them to just create and to explore and to make mistakes. And so I think what we see here with Lego is very telling of what kind of society we live in today. And so what can we move towards? So I'm actually here right now, and you can see behind me, there's probably some background noise. I apologize. I'm here at the COP28. So this is the United Nations Conference for Sustainability. I'm brushing shoulders with high-end delegates and ministers of education, but I'm here with my students. So these two girls that you see in the picture here, they're presenting their project that they did of a camp. So here we are. I'll show you some pictures of the actual project they did. We took them up camping, 80 students from 16 schools from 8 different countries around Latin America, threw them in a small town in the Andes and said, what do you want to create? What kind of sustainability projects would you like to see? And so we took them through the design cycle, and they first got their inspiration, then their ideation, and their implementation. And in 3 short days, students actually had to create these projects with the community. So we go with the necessary tools, with the things that they need to kind of cut the red tape and make it happen. I know this is a little bit extreme of an example. Maybe you in your camp context, maybe you're running a residential camp and you're saying, well, getting out in the community doing this is not really feasible for me, and that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to sustainability, we need to get the youth involved in allowing them to be part of this process. And so when we talk about sustainability, I think we really focus a lot on the first 3 that I'm going to mention, but we need to move to the 4th as well. So we can talk first about our campus. That's the physical space in which we're working in. That's the energy consumption. That's the recycling or the compost that you have going on. The sustainability steps that you can take. And we're going to tell you in a minute how you can first take some of those steps if you haven't already. You have your curriculum. That's actually what are the activities that you're engaging your campers in, and what does that actually look like in terms of how we're structuring what we're doing and how we're talking about the activities. The community then is actually your camp community. So that's your campers. Those are their the parents. Those are your cooks and your staff workers. That's the community you have around you, as well as the local community. And that's a key one there, because that's bringing in your stakeholders right around what you're doing. So we engage with these three quite often. And what we're hoping to find ourselves doing, and this is kind of our long-term goal, is to create a culture, right? So sustainability moves away from, these small actions, moves away from just these one-off type activities, and really moves towards that's just the way we do things. And I think I'm speaking to the camp world, so I know you all know what culture looks like. That feeling you get when you step into someone's camp, and you can sense what they're about. You can feel really it's this living, breathing identity with the camp, and that's what we're moving towards, right? That sustainability is part of that sense you get when you walk onto any of our camps. That's what we're trying to move towards. So how are we going to do it? We're going to take some first steps. We're going to be launching very soon. I'm excited I get to share this. In 2024, we're going to be coming out with some ICF pledges. And this is going to have some camper input as well as some expert input about what camps can be doing to kind of take those first steps towards saying we want to become more sustainable. So all ICF camp directors, you're going to be invited to sign this. And if you're not a director here and you know one, please encourage them to sign this pledge. And you're going to say, I can do these things. These are concrete steps that I can take in my camp to make it more sustainable. And we're gonna start low. It's gonna be a low threshold. It's gonna be an easy, not too difficult to implement change that you can create in your camp. And what we want to do is then slowly increase it. So we want to see the pledges in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, to slowly be incremented to the level that we believe we can really get to. And we're going to celebrate. We're not going to be, saying, "Oh, we're coming to inspect you," and did you accomplish this? It's not that kind of certification. It's a pledge. So what we really want to do is we want to highlight. And so we want to get your campers saying, look what kind of changes we've created at camp. I've been coming to this camp for so many years, and this year we implemented this, and the next year we implemented that, and this excitement around we want to share and celebrate that. So we're excited to have the pledges coming out. Camp, if any of you professionals working in camp, and if there's campers listening, we have a story to tell. We are really pushing, I think, as experts in sustainability without really having recognized it. And so we have a unique place. We have a unique stance to be taking within the sustainability world. I think that's why I'm here. That's why I'm at the COP saying, these kind of experiences, this is what the youth are demanding, and this is what we could be offering. The schools aren't really doing it. The local organizations aren't really doing it too much, but camp is really unique because we're immersing youth in usually connecting to the environment, but also just immersing in that sense of I can do something. I can create a change. I can be empowered. And so we're gonna try to harness this magic that we talk about of camp and really bring it to another level. So thank you for listening. Keep an eye out. The ICF pledges are coming soon, and we hope to see all of us taking our steps towards sustainability and celebrating again our accomplishments. Thank you.